You've been walking like a sheep when there's a lion inside of you. You've been begging for scraps when you were born to build kingdoms. Why? Because you forgot who's inside you. Act as if God is within you. Because He is. And it's time you start living like it. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are not just human. You are divine power wrapped in flesh, capable of shaking the earth with your actions. In this video, I'll break down why you must walk, talk, and execute like God lives within you. Because once you do, your excuses die and your destiny comes alive. Let's go. You are made in the image of God. Do you even realize what that means? That's not a poetic phrase. That's not spiritual fluff. That's a truth that should ignite something inside of you so powerful it shakes the ground you walk on. You were designed by the greatest architect in existence, crafted with precision, intention, and greatness flowing through every cell in your body. So why are you living like you're average? Why are you walking around like life is something that happens to you? Newsflash, God didn't breathe life into you so you could sit on the sidelines playing small, scared to take your shot. That's not humility. That's insulting your Creator. You weren't born to blend in. You were born to stand out. You weren't made to survive. You were made to dominate. God creates miracles, not mediocrity. He put His essence in you, His power in you, His fire in you, and every time you choose to play it safe, you spit on that gift. That's harsh, but it's true. Because when you doubt yourself, when you say, I'm not good enough, that's blasphemy in the form of self-pity. And it's time to burn that mindset to the ground. You are not some random accident. You are a force of purpose, built for battle, wired for impact. You're walking around with the blueprint of divinity inside you, but you're living like you're still waiting for permission. You don't need permission, you need conviction. You need to wake up to what's already inside you, that fire in your belly, that vision in your mind, that relentless drive that won't die even when everyone doubts you. That's not ego. That's not coincidence. That's the whisper of God telling you, move, child. I'm with you. Act like it. Every word you speak should carry authority. Every step you take should scream confidence. Not because you're perfect, but because your source is perfect. You think God put you here to live paycheck to paycheck, barely surviving, silencing your dreams to fit into someone else's box? Hell no. He put you here to expand, to elevate, to execute with such boldness that the world has no choice but to take notice. Playing small isn't noble. It's a waste of holy potential. Stop apologizing for your ambition. Stop hiding your light to make others comfortable. You're here to raise the standard. So carry yourself like the miracle you are. Walk with purpose. Speak with thunder. Build like the world depends on it. Because someone out there is waiting for what you were born to deliver. And they don't need your excuses. They need your example. Act like God is within you because He is. And it's time you made that undeniable. Power isn't handed out like free samples. It's not a lottery ticket you scratch hoping to hit the jackpot. Power is activated. It's already in you right now as you sit there watching this. But here's the truth. Nothing changes until you do. You keep waiting for a sign, a breakthrough, some magical moment to finally feel ready. Let me be brutally honest. If you're waiting, you're losing. Because this is your sign right here, right now. You're not waiting on God, He's waiting on you. God already planted the seed, the tools, the talent, the instinct, the drive. It's all sitting dormant inside you, gathering dust while you entertain distractions and excuses. But seeds don't bloom because they exist. They bloom because they're activated through friction, through pressure, through action. If you think faith alone will get you there, you've misunderstood the entire mission. Faith without execution is dead. It's an empty shell. It sounds good in your head, but it means nothing without movement. You want a miracle? Be one. You want success? Earn it. You want impact? Deliver it. But here's the part they don't teach you in Sunday school. God doesn't reward intentions. He rewards execution. Too many people sit in silence hoping the heavens drop something into their lap. They journal, they vision board, they manifest, but they forget the most powerful form of faith is taking the first step when nothing makes sense. That's when the divine shows up. That's when power ignites. The fire doesn't fall when you sit, it falls when you strike. You don't activate strength by thinking about it. You activate it by standing up when it hurts, by taking the meeting when you're scared, by investing when the numbers don't add up, but the conviction does. The real ones, the builders, the empire makers, they're not braver than you. They're not more gifted. They just decided to move when the rest of the world hesitated. They chose to act with God inside them instead of waiting for a perfect moment that was never coming. You think power feels like lightning? No. It feels like decision. It feels like choosing action over anxiety. It feels like doing the thing again and again with holy certainty that what's inside you is greater than what's against you. That's when momentum starts to build. That's when doors open. That's when heaven meets hustle and things begin to change. Stop begging for power and start triggering it. It's in your DNA. It's divine. It's dormant only because you've left it untouched. You don't need another prayer. You need a plan and the courage to execute it. Because when you finally decide fully, no turning back, that's the moment the universe tilts in your favor. So don't you dare wait one more day. Act, activate, execute, and let the world feel the shockwave of what happens when someone walks like God is within them. The God's voice isn't just a distant echo from the heavens above. It's a powerful presence burning deep inside you, an unrelenting whisper that calls you to rise beyond your limitations. Many people spend their lives searching for signs, waiting for external approval, or hoping for some divine intervention from the outside. But the truth is, the voice of God is already inside you, urging you forward every single moment. That small but fierce flame inside your chest, the gut instinct that you often try to ignore, is God's voice shouting, "Wake up, you were made for more." It's not a suggestion or a gentle nudge, it's a command, an unbreakable call to action. When you begin to understand this, you no longer have to wait for the world's permission to pursue your greatness. You don't need validation from anyone outside because the authority and power you seek are already inside you, waiting to be claimed. This internal voice is your divine GPS, a navigation system calibrated by the highest power in existence, designed to guide you through the chaos and distractions of life. It's that deep knowing that tells you when to move, when to stop, and when to push harder. The problem is that most people silence it with fear, doubt, and the noise of everyday distractions. They drown out the divine whisper with their own excuses or the opinions of others. But when you learn to trust this inner voice, to listen and act on it with conviction, you unlock a reservoir of strength and clarity that the world cannot give and cannot take away. It becomes the foundation on which you build your life, your empire, your legacy. It's the difference between living as a spectator and stepping into the arena as a warrior. Trusting this voice requires courage because it will often call you to step into the unknown, to take risks that scare you, to make decisions that others won't understand. But here's the brutal truth. Greatness never emerges from comfort zones or from waiting for perfect conditions. The voice within you doesn't promise safety or ease. It demands faith and execution. It challenges you to act as if God is within you, because quite literally He is. Every hesitation, every moment you delay is a betrayal of that divine power. The moment you start following that voice relentlessly, you begin to live with purpose and passion. You start to attract the right people, opportunities, and resources that align with your destiny. You stop wasting energy on things that don't serve your higher calling. Lead with that voice. Let it be the fire that fuels your decisions, your leadership, your impact on the world. When you lead from this divine place, you inspire others. You move mountains, and you create a legacy that transcends time. This isn't some vague spiritual advice. It's a call to brutal, relentless execution, fueled by a power that's greater than any obstacle you face. It's time to stop doubting, stop waiting, and start acting like the God-powered warrior you were born to be. Because that voice inside you isn't just noise, it's the roar of your destiny calling you to greatness. Fear is an insult to God because it shows that you have forgotten who walks beside you every single step of the way. It reveals a weak mind that doubts the very source of all power, protection, and provision. When fear controls you, it's as if you've thrown out the blueprint for greatness and chosen to live in the shadows of doubt. But what if you truly understood that God is not just somewhere out there, but right inside you? How would that change your perspective? How would you move if you knew that the Almighty, the creator of the universe, is in your corner, fighting your battles and guiding your steps? You wouldn't hesitate. You wouldn't shrink back or second guess yourself. You'd charge forward with unshakable confidence, knowing no weapon formed against you could prosper. You'd storm the gates of hell barefoot if you had to, because the power within you is greater than any fear outside of you. Fear keeps you small. It chains you to mediocrity and robs you of your true potential. It's a liar's voice whispering that you are not enough, not strong enough, not worthy enough. But that voice is a traitor, because the truth is you were designed for victory. You were created in the image of God, filled with his power and authority. So why do you tiptoe through life, walking on eggshells, worried about what might go wrong? Why do you hesitate when every fiber of your being is charged with divine energy? The answer is simple. Fear thrives in the absence of faith. When your faith is weak, fear gains ground. But faith is not just some soft feeling. It's the weapon you use to cut through fear like a hot knife through butter. It's the action you take when your legs want to freeze. It's the voice that shouts back at fear and says, I trust in the power inside me. I am unstoppable. Faith in action is the antidote to fear. When you take that first step forward, even if your knees are shaking, you begin to dismantle the fortress of fear brick by brick. Every move you make in faith weakens fear's grip. Faith is a declaration that God's power is greater than any obstacle, that his presence surrounds you and empowers you. The moment you start acting on that truth, fear loses its control. It has no place in the heart of a warrior who knows God is within. You don't need to wait for fear to disappear. You need to take action in spite of it. The more you move forward, the smaller fear becomes. The more you execute with divine confidence, the more faith grows. And faith, my friend, is the fuel that drives miracles. So stop giving fear the power to hold you back. Stop allowing it to keep you from speaking your truth, pursuing your dreams, and claiming the life that God has already prepared for you. Fear is nothing but a thief, stealing your peace, your potential, and your purpose. It's a betrayal to the divine spark inside you. Remember, fear doesn't have authority over you. God does. He who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. When you embrace that, you begin to walk in unstoppable boldness with a heart that beats in rhythm with divine courage. You become a force to be reckoned with, the living testimony that fear is powerless against the one who moves mountains from within. So rise up, act like the God-powered warrior you were created to be, crush fear with faith and action, and watch as your life transforms beyond what you ever thought possible. Miracles don't come to those who wait on the sidelines. They come to the ones who take bold, decisive action. You see, God doesn't operate in pauses or hesitation. God moves with momentum, relentless, unstoppable, and powerful. When you sit still, doubting yourself or your purpose, nothing changes. But the moment you decide to act, to step out with faith blazing in your heart, the entire universe begins to realign in your favor. The key is movement. It's the first step, that single act of courage that sets everything in motion. Think about it. When you act with belief, when your intention is so pure, in your conviction so strong that you feel like you're carrying heaven itself in your chest, that energy radiates out. It disrupts the stagnant forces around you. Suddenly, obstacles that once seemed immovable start to crumble. Doors that were locked slam wide open. People who doubted you or ignored you begin to notice, not because you beg for attention, but because your actions send a message. You are a force to be reckoned with. You are no longer a bystander in your life story. You are the author, the warrior, the creator. Momentum builds momentum. One step leads to the next, and soon you find yourself moving faster and stronger than you ever thought possible. The universe isn't a cold, indifferent place. It's a living, breathing entity that responds to energy and intention. When you align your actions with divine purpose, when you walk like God is within you, the whole cosmos conspires to help you. This isn't some vague, mystical idea. It's a spiritual truth backed by the laws of cause and effect. God's power isn't passive, it's dynamic. It flows through your actions and choices, amplifying them and bending reality in your favor. But here's the catch. Movement has to be bold and consistent. Hesitation kills momentum. Waiting for the perfect moment or ideal conditions is a trap that keeps you frozen. No miracle has ever been born from hesitation. The moment you hesitate, doubt creeps in, fear tightens its grip, and the divine power inside you remains dormant. You have to push past that. You have to move even when you're scared, even when the path isn't clear. The greatest breakthroughs happen when you act in spite of uncertainty, fueled by faith and the knowledge that God's strength is running through your veins. Execution is the language of miracles. It's not enough to dream or pray, you must do. You must hustle, grind, and chase the vision God placed inside you with relentless determination. Every effort, every step forward activates the power within you and sets off a chain reaction that reshapes your reality. Mountains don't move because you wish them to. They move because you move with the authority of heaven behind you. You aren't just moving yourself, you're moving the entire spiritual realm, calling forces to your side. So, if you're waiting for a sign or wondering when it will be your time, here it is. The universe rewards those who take that first step with unwavering faith. God's momentum is ready to carry you, but you have to jump on board and start running. No more standing still, no more excuses. It's time to act, because your movement is the spark that ignites miracles. The power of God within you is ready. Are you? Lead like a warrior, love like a king. Those aren't just words, they're a command to live with purpose beyond yourself. This isn't just about chasing success or stacking trophies. It's about creating impact so profound it changes the very world around you. When you truly walk like God is within you, something shifts deep inside. You no longer see life as a competition to win at any cost or a game where you take what you can get. Instead, you become a force of transformation. You don't just grab, you build. You don't just climb, you raise others up beside you. To lead like a warrior means to carry an unshakable strength, but it's not just physical or mental toughness. It's spiritual courage. It's a kind of courage that doesn't back down when the storms rage. A warrior stands tall not because the path is easy, but because the power inside them refuses to quit. This strength comes from knowing that God's presence is not just a distant idea, but a living force driving your every move. That means when challenges come, when fear and doubt try to invade, you confront them head on. You take decisive action with fearless resolve. Leadership, at its core, is about taking responsibility when others hesitate. It's about being the first to charge into battle and the last to retreat. But leading like a warrior isn't about crushing others. It's about inspiring them to unleash their own power. It's about being a beacon of relentless faith and discipline that others can follow. But leading alone isn't enough. You must love like a king. And love like a king is not soft or weak. It's fiercely protective, generous, and just. A king doesn't just rule over people. He serves them, he protects them, and he ensures their well-being. Loving like a king means you extend your strength beyond yourself. You don't hoard power or glory, you share it, you multiply it, you build a kingdom where others feel safe to grow, thrive, and contribute. That kind of love changes the game entirely. It's the foundation for lasting loyalty and respect. It transforms followers into allies and allies into family. Love like a king means standing up for what's right, even when it's hard, and defending those who can't defend themselves. It means showing compassion without compromise and kindness with conviction. When you combine this warrior spirit with kingly love, you don't just lead people, you transform communities. You don't just succeed, you create legacies that outlive you. That legacy is the sum of every person you lifted, every life you changed, every barrier you broke through your example. Living with God inside you means living on a higher plane where your actions ripple beyond immediate results and into eternity. Your impact isn't limited to personal gain. It's a divine mandate to build something greater than yourself. So stop thinking about success as a solo race or a momentary achievement. Think bigger. Think about the kind of leader who inspires loyalty because people believe in the power behind you. Think about the kind of love that builds kingdoms, not castles that crumble, but communities that last for generations. To lead like a warrior and love like a king is to step fully into your divine purpose and power. To show the world what happens when faith, courage, and compassion collide in a human being. This is what it means to live divinely. This is how you transform not just your life, but the world around you. So the next time you look in the mirror, stop seeing a struggler and start seeing a creator. God's not just up there, He's in you. Walk like it, speak like it, build like it, and execute like heaven itself is counting on you, because it is. Now go out there and make the impossible fold under your faith and execution. Subscribe, comment, God is within me, if you're ready to rise. Let's build empires. No excuses, only execution.